We're here with another installment of All in a Week Sports. I'm Matt Spielman, Post-Journal sports writer, here with Cody Crandall, another Post-Journal sports writer, and Ty Harper, head coach of the Clymer-Sherman-Panama Wolfpack, in his third year coaching after a year at Sherman, and they have a home playoff game for the first time, and I think his program's his time at the helm.
Yep.
Cody, what do you see? You've been to a couple games this year. What do you see with the Wolfpack?
Well, Ty, one of the things that caught my eye is you guys started the season against Franklinville, Ellicottville, the reigning sectional champ, Silver Creek, Forestville, and Maple Grove, which is currently the top-ranked team in New York State. And that's, I guess you could say, the murderer's row of Class D football in Section 6. But did you almost look at that brutal start to your season as a positive? I mean, did playing that caliber of competition to start the season make your team better, do you think?
Yeah, it certainly was kind of a gauntlet right out of the gate, but I think one thing that we preach to the kids is that if we continue to get better throughout those three games, the rest of the schedule was winnable.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really a tribute to them because they could have very easily packed it in at 0-3, and they didn't.
What do you see in those kids? I know last year you lost a quarterback, as Justin Svets was out last year. This year he's back, and then he lost him again. You got another guy coming in. You have different guys coming in and play quarterback. I mean, the main position on the team, but obviously other guys are stepping up, and you're battling that adversity.
Yeah, that's a great question. Honestly, our guys are so unselfish, and that's something that I've said to you guys after the games. I'm just very impressed with the unselfishness for our kids. We have, I want to say, 10 different kids that have scored touchdowns for us this year. We graduated an all-league quarterback last year in Jack Payne. Got Svets back. We were real excited to have him. And then, he had the concussion, and he's been out. And Nolan Eggleston has just been absolutely lights out since he's stepped in. And I think he's just a really confident kid, and the other kids are feeding off it.
And is it hard not really having a home field, shifting from Panama to Clymer to Sherman, or does that almost make it even more of an event in those communities, the 1 or 2 times a year you have a game? In those respective
That's a really good question. I think when we do have a game in any of the 3 communities, obviously the people in that community are pretty excited about it. It's tough. I'm not going to lie. It's tough. I think logistically, that's probably the toughest thing about having a 3-school merge. The kids are great. The kids have really bought into what we're trying to do, and they're playing as a team. But I think the logistics of it is the most difficult aspect of the 3-way merge.
Not to take anything away from Justin, but I talked to Brent Brown, I think, the week Eggleston came in, and he had no idea, and this kid steps in and throws 5 touchdowns, I think, and you guys have, Colby and Corey Ayers and Colt Miller, Tanner Ramsey. I mean, what's allowing that offense to click? I mean, you're scoring 40 points a couple times now.
I think, again, it comes back to the unselfishness. They really don't care who's getting the ball, whether, the running backs are blocking for each other. The receivers are pretty unselfish about who's catching the passes. I think they're all feeding off each other at this point. To say that Nolan has been good would be a huge understatement. I think that he has been so confident since he stepped on the field. Again, I think our guys are just feeding off of him.
And I know Coach Chris Payne handles a lot of the defensive responsibilities. Yep. But throughout your guys' 4-game winning streak, I mean, you only gave up 15 points against Porterville, 6 against Randolph, 20 against Cat Little Valley, and arguably the most impressive performance was this past week, and 7 against the high-powered attack of Frewsburg there. But what's impressed you the most about the way your kids are playing on the defensive side of the football?
Well, Coach Payne has done a great job putting together these game plans. But ultimately, it's about executing the game plan. And the kids really have just bought into whatever he's telling them. If you look at that Cattaraugus Little Valley game, they really only gave up 6 points in that game. We put the ball on the ground on offense and got returned for a touchdown. We had our 2s in at the end of the game, and they got a touchdown in kind of garbage time. They have really just been lights out down the stretch, and I think it comes down to selling out for your teammates. We've got guys taking on blocks so the other kids can make tackles. We've had guys in the secondary, switching positions, maybe playing a safety when they've traditionally been a corner, playing an outside linebacker when they've been a safety, and they've just been very receptive towards whatever we've asked them to do.
And finally, you get the rematch against Randolph Saturday. I think in that Class D, you have the top 3 that people thought would be top 3, and the bottom 2 that have played, a little lesser than the others, and then those middle 3 you don't really know. Randolph, I think, played Franklinville to 1 point before they played you. Something happened that weekend. You guys blow them out, and then they go and play Frewsburg, blow them out, and then they have another, then Maple Grove this weekend. But is it just staying consistent on your end, or is there things that you see where Randolph, you probably expect a bigger fight than the first time you played them?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that 41-6 score is indicative at all of the type of program they have. Obviously, they're traditionally one of the better programs in the state, and Brent and Nate both do a great job over there. I have a ton of respect for them. I expect it to be a dogfight, and I know that their kids are probably hungry, and we just need to come out and execute. That's what it always comes down to for us. We're not going to worry about what they're going to do or how hungry they are. It comes down to what we can control, and we just need to execute.
And one last quick question here for you, Ty. When we talked after your win against Cat Little Valley on senior day, you said that this 3-school merge hasn't always been the easiest process. But how rewarding has it been for you as a coach and for these kids, do you think, to have some success like you guys have had this year and get a home playoff game, which you said prior to the season was one of your guys' huge goals coming in?
Yeah, it's been incredibly rewarding, especially having 15 seniors. These kids have they've laid the foundation for our program. They've been there through the tough times, and they didn't pack it in when we were 0-3. And I don't know how many people outside of our locker room really felt like we were going to be able to accomplish what we've accomplished this year. And it's very rewarding for me as a head coach to see them having the success that they're having, and hopefully we can keep going.
Well, good luck on Saturday, and hopefully one of us will be talking to you about being one step closer to New Era Field, I guess it is now.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it, guys.